Chess is a wonderful game. It is a game of skill and strategy. Anyone can learn to play chess. It is a fun game to play with friends and family. Chess can be challenging. It makes you think hard. But don't worry, it's not as difficult as it looks. We'll learn some basics to get you started. With a little practice, you'll be playing like a pro in no time. So, let's get started and discover the joy of chess. Each piece on the chessboard moves differently. This unique movement is what makes the game of chess so fascinating and strategic. Every piece has its own role and way of moving, which contributes to the complexity and beauty of the game. Understanding these moves is key to playing chess. Without a solid grasp of how each piece operates, it's impossible to formulate effective strategies or anticipate your opponent's moves. Mastering the movement of each piece is the first step towards becoming a skilled chess player. Let's meet our chess army. Each piece has its own unique characteristics and abilities. Knowing these will help you understand how to use them effectively in your game. The king. The most important piece. The game revolves around the king. If your king is trapped and cannot escape capture, you lose the game. Therefore, protecting your king is crucial. He can move one square in any direction. This limited movement makes the king vulnerable, so you must always be vigilant about his safety. The queen. The most powerful piece. She combines the power of the rook and the bishop, making her incredibly versatile and dangerous. She moves in straight lines any distance. This means she can control a lot of squares and can be a formidable force in both offense and defense. The rook, this piece loves straight lines. The rook is a powerful piece, especially in the endgame when the board is more open. It moves horizontally or vertically any distance. This allows the rook to control entire rows and columns, making it a key piece for controlling the board. The bishop, this piece moves diagonally as far as it wants. Bishops are great for long-range attacks and can control the board from a distance. The knight, the tricky one. The knight's unique movement can be difficult to master, but is very effective for surprising your opponent. It moves in an L shape, 2 squares in one direction, horizontal or vertical, then 1 square to the side. This allows the knight to jump over other pieces, making it a versatile and unpredictable piece. The pawns move 1 square forward. Though they seem weak, pawns are the soul of chess. They can be promoted to any other piece if they reach the opposite end of the board, but they capture diagonally forward. This unique movement makes pawns essential for both defense and offense. Remember, each piece has its own strengths. Understanding these strengths and how to use them in combination with each other is the key to mastering chess. Use them wisely to outsmart your opponent. The more you practice, the better you'll become at recognizing opportunities and making strategic decisions. Happy playing. Let's set up the board. Chess is a game of strategy and skill, and it all begins with the proper setup. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned player, setting up the board correctly is crucial for a fair and enjoyable game. The board has 64 squares, alternating black and white. These squares create a checkered pattern that is essential for the movement of the pieces. Each player will have a light-colored square in the bottom right corner. Place it so each player has a white square in the bottom right corner. Now place your pieces. The arrangement of the pieces is the same for both players, ensuring a balanced start. The second row is for your pawns. These are your frontline soldiers, ready to advance and protect your more valuable pieces. On the back row, place your rooks in the corners. The rooks are your castles, strong and powerful, controlling the board's edges. Then knights next to them, then bishops. The knights with their unique L-shaped moves, and the bishops moving diagonally add versatility to your strategy. Your queen always starts on her own color. The queen is the most powerful piece, able to move any number of squares in any direction. The king fills the last spot. White always moves first. The king is the most important piece, and the objective of the game is to protect your king while trying to checkmate your opponent's king. Players take turns moving 1 piece each turn, except for a special move called castling, which we'll learn later. Each move should be carefully considered, as it can significantly impact the game's outcome. The goal is to checkmate your opponent's king. This requires strategic planning, foresight, and the ability to anticipate your opponent's moves. This means putting the king in a position where it is under attack, check, and cannot escape. Mastering these basics will set you on the path to becoming a skilled chess player. Section 4. Your first move's opening principles. Now it's time to play. In the beginning, focus on controlling the center of the board. A good opening move is to move your king's pawn 2 squares forward. This opens up the board for your stronger pieces. Another good option is the queen's pawn opening. Try to develop your pieces. This means moving them to squares where they can control more of the board. Section 5. The Scholar's Mate, a beginner's checkmate. Want to impress your friends? Or perhaps you want to catch your opponent off guard in the opening moves of a game. The Scholar's Mate is a checkmate that can happen in the first few moves. It's a classic strategy that every beginner should know. 1. Start by moving your king's pawn 2 squares forward, e4. This opens up lines for your queen and bishop. 2. Then develop your king's bishop to c4, aiming for the weak spot in your opponent's defenses, specifically the f7 square. 3. Next, move your queen to h5, lining up a powerful attack. This move puts immediate pressure on your opponent. 4. If your opponent leaves their f7 pawn undefended, you can checkmate them by moving your queen to f7. Be careful though. This move can be easily countered if your opponent is aware of the threat. Experienced players will see this trap coming. They might counter it by developing their pieces quickly or by moving their knight to f6 to block your queen's path. Always be ready to adapt your strategy. Learning the Scholar's Mate is just the beginning. As you advance, you'll discover more complex strategies and tactics. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be able to anticipate your opponent's moves and plan several steps ahead. Remember, chess is a game of patience and foresight. The more you play, the better you'll become at spotting opportunities and avoiding traps. Happy playing! Section 7 Chess, a journey of learning and fun. Congratulations, you've learned the basics of chess. Remember, chess is a game of patience and strategy. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn. The more you play, the better you'll become. Join a chess club, play online, or challenge your friends. Most importantly, have fun. Chess is a game that can be enjoyed by people of all ages and skill levels. So go out there, make your first move, and discover the joy of chess.